You're not going to like what I'm about to say, but that's exactly why you need to hear it. This one sentence dismantled everything I believed about strength, control, and peace. I was humiliated and reborn. And if you let it hit you like it hit me, it might just destroy everything that's keeping you small. Here it is: you suffer more in imagination than reality. I was 15 years old. Anxious. Angry. Tired of myself. Every morning I would wake up with a storm already brewing inside my head. Before I even opened my eyes, I was arguing with people in my mind. Imagining confrontations. Replaying old humiliations. Preemptively defending myself from battles that hadn't even happened. And I thought this was normal. I thought this was being self-aware. That this was what it meant to be prepared. But in reality, I was just poisoning my peace before the world even had a chance to. Then one day, I read that line in a worn-out book of letters. I didn't even know who Seneca really was. I just remember the sentence sitting on the page like a knife. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. I read it again. And again. And again. And I swear to you, for the first time in years, I stopped arguing in my head. Let's break this down. Because it's not just pretty words. Seneca isn't saying that suffering doesn't exist. He's saying that most of what we call pain is a story. A film in our minds. A rehearsal of tragedy that hasn't arrived. You don't suffer because your boss yelled at you. You suffer because you imagine him yelling tomorrow. You replay his voice from yesterday. You imagine being fired. Rejected. Judged. And you carry all that weight on your back before you even walk out the door. The Stoics believed that the only true suffering is the one you allow to remain in the present. That the future and the past only haunt us because we keep inviting them to. Modern application, our everyday mental prison. Let's be honest. You wake up and scroll your phone, and suddenly you feel behind. Everyone's ahead of you. Better body. More money. Smiling on beaches while you're sweating through your alarm clock. But nothing bad actually happened to you yet. You're just imagining what your life should be. What others think. What you're not. You suffer in imagination. Someone doesn't text you back. Your brain invents 10 reasons, none of them kind. Your friend says one awkward sentence. Now you relive it for 3 days. Editing it. Judging yourself. Torturing your peace. But nothing is real. Not yet. Not until you let it dominate your state. Mental fortitude, how Stoics built an unshakable mind. The Stoics weren't superhuman. But they trained their minds like warriors train their bodies. They practiced a technique called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evil. They would imagine worst-case scenarios, intentionally. But not to panic. To prepare their soul to meet reality with strength. If it happens, I am ready. If it doesn't, I will not suffer twice. That's the key. The sentence changed my life because it exposed how many times I chose to suffer. How many imaginary battles I fought and lost, without ever leaving my bed. It forced me to ask. If the thing I fear never happens, then why did I suffer like it already did? Actionable Stoic wisdom for the modern world. Let's not be abstract. Let's bring this to you, here and now. Practice 1, Inner Dialogue Audit. Every time you feel anxious, stop and ask. Is this happening, or am I just rehearsing it? You'll be surprised how often the answer is, it's all in my head. Practice 2, Reality Anchor. Each morning, write down 3 things that are actually happening, 3 things that are only in your imagination. This separates what is from what if. Practice 3, Imagined Resilience. If you're going to imagine something, imagine yourself handling it with power. Instead of imagining being rejected, imagine standing tall through it. Instead of picturing chaos, picture calm in the middle of it. Use the imagination to train peace, not to destroy it. The moment that tested me. I'll tell you when this sentence truly became real to me. A year after I read it, I lost my job unexpectedly. Before, I would have spiraled, what if I never find work again? What will people think? What does this say about me? But instead, I sat still. I remembered Seneca. You suffer more in imagination than in reality. And I asked, what is real right now? Answer, I'm alive. I'm breathing. I have time. I have strength. And guess what? I didn't fall apart. I pivoted. I created. I moved forward. Because I wasn't suffering in advance. And that's how I discovered something even deeper. Most people don't fear reality. They fear the stories they attach to it. So I leave you with this: how many hours of your life have been lost to imaginary pain? How many days ruined by stories that never came true? How much energy have you fed into suffering that never arrived? Now imagine what your life would look like if you reclaimed that energy. That's what the Stoics practiced. That's what I try to practice. And that's what I'm inviting you into. Peace isn't found in avoiding pain. It's found in refusing to live a second life in fear of it. There will be suffering, yes. Life is not free of hardship. But imagine if you only suffered once, instead of rehearsing it 1,000 times. Imagine if you trusted yourself to meet reality with clarity, instead of fearing ghosts in your mind. This one sentence is not just advice. It's a sword. A tool to cut through the illusion.
Thanks for watching this video at the end. Share, like, subscribe,